I'm broke to balls, I flip the script. Super Trucker Podcast got me fully equipped. Left the noise behind, now I'm stacking green. Voyager Nation make me live the dream.
It's never meaningful. So let's make it meaningful. Make up a mind. What would be for you, for personally you watching this video? What would be a good hours of service rules that you can work with and never violate? Just don't give me that shit 24/7. I do what I want.
No.
I wish that was the case. I would support even that. But then let's put it on the paper. Let's put it as a law of the land. And then I'm down for it, 100%.
Paper logs might have a comeback, but the question is, can it adapt with modern trucking? So that's what we're here to talk about, guys. To kick it off, we got my man Mike here. Let's get started.
All right. So full disclosure, never ran a day in my life with ELDs.
All right, so here we go. So you're a fan of paper logs?
Yes, no, it depends. But I just don't have an actual experience with ELDs. I only have experience with paper logs.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure I can speak at least on the paper log side of the business.
Yeah. So now the conversation is this. It's really like one of the things is, let's say they do come back, right? So we're wrong, right, indifferent, doesn't really matter. Let's say it does come back. What's the reality of it being a sustainable policy, process, law, whatever you might want to call it? Because trucking in itself has evolved so much with technology. Is it just like there's no more space for this? That's the real concept. Like, so we even start with just let's say number one, insurance. Is that carrier even insurable?
Probably not. I think maybe one truck type of carrier, like a solo owner operator carrier, maybe. But I'm pretty sure the cost of insurance is going to be probably in the conversation already. Also, you're probably going to be easier to insure on your first year, but then good luck with renewal. With paper logs, it's going to be mission impossible.
Right, because I don't necessarily think they're going to say, no, you're not insurable. So that's not what's going to happen.
No, we're just not going to quote you.
Not quote you, or if you do get that quote, it's going to be so astronomical that you're kind of forced to go the other way.
Yes, so at the end of the day, I think basically, imagine this, you're an owner-operator, right? Like a solo, your own authority owner-operator. And now it's time for a renewal, and let's say you get two quotes, $12,000 for your standard quote, like if you were like ELD compliant,
right?
And let's say $25,000-$35,000 for if you're a paper logs guy.
Yeah, because they're just gonna assess you as a higher risk, and that'll be the thought behind it.
Yeah, that's exactly the thought behind it. And then even that's not gonna solve all your problems, because besides insurance, there are all other aspects that you're gonna be liability no matter where you go, and the solution for this is to find a carrier that's gonna bring you in with your paper logs. Then it's carrier's problem.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of similar to today's situation with ELDs already and ELD exempt trucks, right?
So yeah, you'll get you do get those phone calls on recruiting, right? Like, hey, I got an ELD exempt, I got an exempt truck, and that's great. And yes, it is. But does that even hold a lot of water? I think I still have guys coming here to plug in their glider kit or whatever they have, even if it's an older truck, 98, let's say, doing donuts with an ELD to make sure it picks to the drive line. So if they're participating for that, it's not as easy to find these. So, yes, you have it. Yes, there's an exemption, but you're not going to really find a lot of people carriers bringing those trucks on.
Yeah. So the fact alone, most people buying gliders, I would say maybe half. I don't know. I'm just bullshitting right now because I don't know the numbers, but I would assume, what is the reason for somebody to buy a glider? Number one, you don't want to deal with emissions systems. That's a huge one. Like, that shit can cost you a lot of money.
Right.
So that's a very, very reasonable thing for somebody to try to avoid. But I'm sure there is probably about half of the people that get into this glider market that probably do that to be ELD exempt.
Right.
And I can guarantee you, for somebody who spends all this money, because those gliders are not cheap.
No. They're not.
For somebody to spend all this money and then go from carrier to carrier, entertaining the idea that if this ELD gonna kick into driveline, it's a go, and if it's not, it's a no-go.
Yeah.
That only tells me one thing, that it's probably very, very difficult to find a good carrier. The important word here is good carrier.
Yeah.
The good, reliable carrier who pays the bills, who does things right, who's gonna bring you in to run under their authority, because to them you are not only liability but also much higher cost exposure. Because, for example, if we would bring in one guy right now, right, ELD exempt, and we would run with that, the cost of our insurance per truck would increase significantly. And I can be, crying over a phone with my insurance agent that it's only one truck. Why can't you just increase the price for one and not for the others? That's not. I wish it worked like that.
No, it's not
but that's
working,
not how it works. So now imagine, just because one guy, do you really want to take, double the price of the insurance? And when we're talking about double the price of insurance, we're talking about, the company of our size is $500,000 a year.
Yeah, for sure. Man, and I think that a lot of people don't weigh this out, I guess, because they are leased on, so they reap that benefit, right? They don't have the full exposure to that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes asking for something, it comes with other things, especially, you want to be part of an organization that is growing and is doing better things and is gaining market share and is gaining, some people like customers, others don't, whatever the case, but like, to have that opportunity to scale the business, like, yeah, I mean, even just like, these brokers and customers, everybody loves visibility now, like in this day and age. And so you're almost trying to remain in the dark while the industry in itself has advanced to a new level.
Absolutely. And the visibility of it, that's another, like a whole other topic about shadow carriers and everything else. But like that visibility also goes off the rockers because, for example, the visibility in business, transparency, right? Okay, that's all good.
Mm-hmm.
But then recently our email got hacked like a couple weeks ago. And the bad people hacked it, booked a few loads with a few brokers, and I don't know what happened after that, but pretty much we ended up making a police report. And actually, yesterday, I thought that shit is just going to die in the trash can somewhere in Polk County.
You're right.
But yesterday, the detective called, and he's like, explain me more about how this works. And here I go for freaking 2 hours. And I'm like, man, if you got like another, 7 24-hour days, let's go at it. Let's talk about it. Because I'm pretty passionate about this. The fraud in the trucking industry, it costs everyone. If you think it doesn't cost you, it does cost you.
Yeah, it does.
This is the reason why you cannot have no paper logs. This is the reason that you cannot have all the nice things that you wish you could have, but that's the cost of doing business. So basically, and then this the
sheriff,
the sheriff's detective, he's asking me like, so how, like, but don't you have some sort of licenses or something that is like, how do we get that to book a load under your company name? I'm like, man, thanks for asking. We just added 2 more days because all that shit is public information.
Yeah.
And not just public information because government demands it. Yeah, government demands it on the FMCSA website. But also all these private entities from DAT to ELDs and everything else, everybody is trying to be like extremely overly transparent without even understanding what it does.
Right.
So basically now, let's say the email that we use for emergencies and communication with government agencies only, right? That email is public knowledge.
So getting spammed.
Yes. So now everyone from DAT to ELD providers to all kinds of third-party carrier verification systems, we all demand that the carrier includes that email in the database for let's say load booking.
Mm-hmm.
And now everything that should be a lot more sensitive than just one load
is getting to that
is being exposed as a public information, and now it's being thrown anywhere. And because MC number of any trucking company, it's available. You just look it up. DOT number of any trucking company,
anywhere.
Look it up. EIN number of any trucking company, look it up. It's all public information. And the guy's like, so there is no way for you guys to protect yourselves. I'm like, that's what industry demands. Like, that's way above my pay grade. But sometimes that extreme transparency is actually causing more damage than good. It's kind of like, imagine, let's say, I'm sure C.H. Robinson is probably not owned by one guy, but let's say it's owned by one guy. And now everyone is demanding that we only gonna be dealing with the owner of the company, or we only gonna be booking loads with owner of the company email. That guy is gonna just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's way too much. So it's even crazy because, like, even in this day and age, like, that's what we say. To your point, the fraud is so rampant, even with all this tracking and blah 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 technology. Man, we're barbaric in the regards to, the people are like, send me a picture of you next to your truck holding a fucking newspaper with today's date or whatever the case may be. So it gets a little crazy. So that's what we're saying. Is this, how do you scale and grow when it's not just insurance, it's not just the brokers, it's this transparency that can actually work against you. But
I think those two things need to be separated. The transparency is transparency. The you know, like I guess what is the reason for let's say non-participation in the ELD program?
Right. So here's something interesting. I just kind of walked around the office a little bit. And I'm like, hey, if an owner operator calls and he says, hey, I don't want to, on paper logs, I'm exempt. How do you feel? And the number one answer is, he's going to fake the logs or like that, right? No one said freedom because I'm an owner operator. He deserves the right to all of that.
Privacy. Yeah.
So I guess what happens is the insurance company just looks at that, and if it's a nuclear verdict type thing, 12 people are thinking that immediately.
Absolutely. 100%.
Like there is not one person is going to, unless that you explained it to them, like you had to do the sheriff. No one.
And look, the funny thing is, just because he gave me, a little bit of time to vent how I feel about things, it doesn't change anything, man. He listened to me. He probably made some notes. He said he's not gonna just let it fucking die. He said that he's gonna actually reach out to FBI and see how this can be streamlined a little bit better, or at least for this case specifically. Right. So I'm like, I hope that guy Mark, you know who I'm talking to. Mark, you're fucked, my man, because the whole power of Polk County Sheriff's Department is chasing your ass.
Well, I do want to say congratulations, you made their filing cabinet, because like this, they already took notes and said I'm gonna put in Mike's file. This is not the first time we talk.
I know.
Operators looking for the best business owner opportunity, look no further. I got all the programs that are gonna make you successful. Everything to operating from 2 different fuel cards, top of the line trailers with a maintenance program that is unbeatable, to plates, insurance, you name it, we got it. All you gotta do is give us a call, 863-342-5171. Learn more and get started.
All right, so again, insurance is one of those, and then again, as far as the brokers go, and even does this affect a factoring company? For those guys who are looking to get 1 truck, 2 truck, 3 truck, 4 truck, what's their how's it affect with the factoring company?
For ELD?
Yeah.
As of right now, I don't see like no real effect. Like factoring companies is a totally different ball game. Now, I would say the key problems, based on what I know about trucking, first of all, insurance. Now, insurance is a very wide topic because it goes from just insurance all the way to liability, customer, shipper, receiver, broker, carrier, everyone. Let's say if carrier has 100 trucks, only one of these trucks is ELD exempt, and carrier accepts it, puts them into the system. First of all, it's right away gonna damage ability of other trucks on this carrier's board to get best freight, because that carrier will be marked in every major brokerage company as the carrier who has those trucks. So now we're gonna be a lot more protective towards the customer before we're gonna hand you this load, because let me tell you, that guy with paper logs, exempt, everything is legal, nothing he does is wrong, drives down the road, and then something bad happens, and now there is a nuclear lawsuit. And now who do you think is gonna pay the price for that? And let's say the guy didn't do nothing wrong. There are thousands of cases out there every year where the truck driver have done nothing wrong, but just because it's business against the dumb idiot who doesn't know how to drive. The jury is very, very clear. We want to defend the dumb idiot. So now, who's going to pay the price? The carrier. So it's not just going to be, hand me your insurance and bye-bye. No. We're going to calculate how much money you have, how much equipment you have, what properties you have. All that stuff is going to become part of the deal. Now, the broker, most of us in trucking, until you get to a certain level, we think that the brokers will just wash their hands and we don't give a shit. In a lot of cases, we don't. But when it comes down to some big stuff, we're going to pony up a lot of money just to buy themselves out of that situation. So we will be included in that nuclear verdict. And their cut is going to be no less than a carrier's cut.
Yeah, so I mean that's a lot of money on the table for them.
The insurance and potentially their assets on the hook.
Yeah.
Also, the shipper who theoretically has a contract with a broker, that the broker is going to do the screening of the carrier and make sure that we only allow white hat top tier carriers access to the trade. Let me tell you, market is market. Money talks, bullshit walks.
Yeah, for sure.
So at the end of the day, the shipper whose load is in that trailer is also going to be on the hook. The receiver potentially going to be on the hook. You name it, anybody down the chain is going to be on the hook. And the problem with that is this, that just one guy having paper logs doubles, triples, quadruples that risk unproportionally.
Yeah.
And because of that, it sounds cute, but unfortunately, the industry is already, just like you said, too far gone to undo that, because everything is so adjusted to it. And if you think I'm still gonna put up my fight, my brother, more power to you. I support your pushback as long as you can afford it. Me personally, I cannot afford it.
Yeah, and then that's the bottom line, guys. That's what we wanted to talk about. So it sounds simplistic to put into play, but what happens if you actually get what you wish for? Can you even survive in this?
Not only survive, can you even get a try?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, just like those those trucks, ELD exempt, how many people bought those trucks to never run with paper logs a day of their life?
And I just think that's trucking is made in the trenches, and it's nice to put rules all surface level and everybody looks up at the shiny lights and the nice font, but like what happens on the day-to-day through carriers and the real people and the real dispatchers and the people making this shit move, sometimes like that's entertainment, because we know it doesn't connect with reality and what we're doing out there on a daily basis.
Yeah, 100%. So I think I think the life goes on, the trucking moves on. It would be nice to have, but again, ask yourself one question: what is the true reason why you want it?
Yep.
And then just if, like, for the most part, if freedom and privacy is your thing, then I'm with you. But let's go all the way for everything else, not just paper logs.
Right.
Everything else. So the public information problems, like all the publicity is part of that. So if you wanna play the game in the industry that is trying to publicize itself out of existence by protecting your privacy, if that's your cause, I'm 100% supporting you, because that's a ideological cause.
Yeah.
But if you're the real answer behind the scenes is, man, sometimes I just want to, change a page or two on that log. Man, like, let me tell you, you got this, right? The phone somewhere. I mean, most likely.
Yeah.
That phone knows exactly where you're at. And if you get into any of those bad incidents, and I know everybody says it will never happen to me, until it happens to you.
Yeah, plus all the breadcrumbs along the way that come with that, freaking fuel, tolls, like parking, you name it, everything is electronic.
Yeah, so I think in the perfect world, if everything else was ran on the paper,
it works.
We buy fuel cash, we get receipts cash, nobody has cameras anywhere.
You still get the ticket.
Then it would be, we would be back in 90s, and that would be awesome for the people who know how to work that. But the reality is this: the rules are the rules. I would say, if you really want to make a change, breaking the law is not the right way to do it. I would support you a lot more if our goal would be, let's make those hours of service rules more manageable or easier to run your business with.
Right.
Then we can actually, instead of trying to change the rule so you can break the law, obviously nobody ever gonna admit it, but like most of the people, that's the idea behind it.
But loose enough that you don't have to go that far.
Yes. So ideally, let's change the rules. Let's add flexibility to hours of service.
Right.
And not the gray flexibility, not the way the government likes it. No, black and white flexibility where it says you can do this, this, and this. Let's simplify the crap out of it. Let's remove a few caps. Like I have a lot of friends who are truckers because I'm coming from that background. So we still talk about day-to-day trucking.
Yeah.
And one thing that we all tend to agree, bro, let's just have, let's say, 14-10 split and let's remove all the weekly caps. So for example, no reset required. So those 34-hour reset should be non-existent. Because if I slept 10 hours, that's all I need. If you're so tired that now you need the whole weekend, nobody is in the industry forcing you to run. You should actually take a break, take a vacation, do whatever you need to do to drive safely, right?
Right, yeah.
So that's already available to you. But let's just remove all the caps. So 34-hour reset goes away. You add unlimited flexibility on the splits. So for example, it's pick one, like 16-8 or 10 and 14, and allow people to mix and match it however they want it without any caps. I can guarantee you, most people are going to be a lot more rested, running a lot more legally, even with ELDs. Because just because somebody doesn't get caught, it doesn't mean they don't violate.
Right, yeah, that's for sure.
It's somewhere on the record deep down, but like who's enforcing it, right? So I would say push for a meaningful change instead of gimmicky change to help you to fake that ELD that's going to help you right now, but it's a major liability for the rest of your life moving forward. So how is that a benefit? I do not know.
Here we go. So I guess that's where the stance is. Should we lobby for better rulemaking in that regard to create the flexibility, and that then becomes more sustainable than just go say paper, bring paper back.
Because let me tell you right now, you bring the paper back. Guess what? The same people that right now making of those immigrant drivers or inexperienced drivers fun. Oh, look at this idiot making a U-turn here. These are the same people that asking for paper log. Now let me ask you this: why do you need a paper log? We already discussed that, right? So now. Oh, so you want the rules that apply for V but not to me. So it's either safety or bullshit. You pick one. It's either meaningful rule change or it's a gimmicky rule change. Pick one. Because let's say we go at it and let's say we win it and the paper logs are back on the paper. Like we can actually do it without at least most surface level consequences.
Right.
I don't see that as a win, because the first couple idiots that gonna make a headline news by doing those gimmicky things, and we're back to change again.
Yeah.
We're back to change again, and it's never meaningful. So let's make it meaningful. Make up a mind. What would be for you, for personally you watching this video, what would be a good hours of service rules that you can work with and never violate? Just don't give me that shit 24/7. I do what I want.
No.
I wish that was the case. I would support even that. But then let's put it on the paper. Let's put it as a law of the land, and then I'm down for it, 100%.
Yeah. Hey, you said something interesting before we close out right now. You've never done electronic, so do you know, like, as the years go by, there's a lot of guys actually in the same situation but reverse. They've just never done paper. Yeah, they're new to the business and just they don't even know what paper is.
Yeah, I actually was watching your morning live show, and you talked about it, and I'm like, shit, man, I never thought about it like this. But yeah, that's the same thing as a manual transmission versus automatic transmission. I'm an old school, I'm a manual guy, so I can do whatever I want. A lot of you guys can.
All right. On that note, guys, be safe, drive safe. And if you are an owner-operator buying the first truck or looking for that perfect place to be to scale your business, it is 863-342-5171.
All right, guys. Make paper logs, run the industry again. Take care, guys.
Operators looking for the best business owner opportunity, look no further. I got all the programs that are going to make you successful. Everything to operating from 2 different fuel cards, top of the line trailers with a maintenance program that is unbeatable, to plates, insurance, you name it, we got it. All you got to do is give us a call, 863-342-5171. Learn more and get started.